Hello and welcome to Module 1.3. In this first lesson, we'll explore the historical evolution of agricultural trends, particularly in Europe, to better understand how the past continues to influence present-day farming practices. Let's begin. For centuries, European agriculture was largely traditional and labor-intensive, with farmers relying on human and animal muscle. The agricultural revolution in the 18th–19th centuries introduced important innovations, particularly in Britain, through enclosure, four-field crop rotations, and selective livestock breeding. Early mechanization began with inventions like Jethro-Tull's seed drill (1701) and steam-powered threshers by the early 1800s. The early 20th century ushered in the age of mechanization. In 1901, the first gasoline-powered tractor was built. By the 1920s, tractors had become widely available and affordable, drastically improving efficiency. After World War II, Europe saw a wave of industrialization in agriculture with adoption of synthetic fertilizers and chemical pesticides. The invention of the Haber-Bosch process removed key barriers to crop yields by producing synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. By the 1960s and 70s, Europe had moved from food scarcity to surplus production. But this success came with side effects: rural depopulation, farm consolidation, and growing environmental concerns. In 1962, the European Union introduced the Common Agricultural Policy, also known as CAP. This was a transformative policy that provided subsidies and guaranteed prices to farmers. It aimed to boost production and ensure food security across the continent. While it helped Europe recover from post-war shortages, the CAP also led to overproduction. By the 1980s, the EU was dealing with butter mountains and wine lakes, massive surpluses of unsold products. From the 1990s onwards, a growing number of farmers and consumers began turning to organic farming. During the 2010s, organic farmland in the EU more than doubled. By 2019, nearly 15 billion hectares, or 8% of all agricultural land, were organic. Organic food sales also soared, reaching over 40 billion euros by the end of the decade. This reflects changing consumer values around health, environmental protection, and animal welfare. In response to environmental concerns, the CAP evolved. The Agenda 2000 reform introduced a second pillar focused on rural development. This second pillar shifted the role of agriculture from producing food alone to also protecting nature, landscapes, and rural communities. It promoted the idea of multifunctional agriculture, a concept that remains key today. In the 21st century, digital technology began transforming agriculture. Today, many farmers rely on GPS-guided tractors, drones, remote sensors, and big data analytics. In fact, up to 80% of new agricultural machinery sold in Europe now includes precision farming tools. These technologies make farming more efficient and environmentally friendly, applying inputs like water or fertilizer exactly where and when they're needed. Sustainability has become central to European agricultural policy. The European Green Deal, launched in 2019, introduced ambitious goals to reshape farming by 2030. These include cutting chemical pesticide use by 50%, dedicating 25% of farmland to organic cultivation, reducing fertilizer and nutrient losses by 50%, and halving antimicrobial use in livestock. These goals are part of the Farm to Fork strategy, the EU's roadmap to a fair, healthy, and environmentally friendly food system. Let's recap the evolution of European agriculture through time. Pre-20th century. Agriculture was traditional, labor-intensive, and based on centuries-old techniques. Early to mid-20th century. Mechanization and chemical inputs changed everything. Tractors, fertilizers, and pesticides boosted yields but brought new challenges. 1980s to 1990s. Environmental awareness led to CAP reforms and efforts to reduce overproduction. 2000 to 2015. Organic farming expanded rapidly. rural development and environmental protection became key policy goals. 2015 to today, digital tools and the Green Deal are redefining agriculture for a sustainable future. Thank you for joining us in this first lesson.